Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/PettyRevenge. In today's episode, sure, you can keep using my Spotify. Absolute silence is my most prized petty revenge. Make me look bad to make yourself look good? I can play that game twice as well and steal a guy I don't even want. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Sure, you can keep using my Spotify. About a week ago, I went on Spotify and saw someone was playing EDM from a Windows computer I didn't recognize. Instead of changing my password and signing out of all devices, I just kept pausing the song every once in a while. Pausing escalated to relentless skipping, then I started playing classics for him such as Never Gonna Give You Up, Deep Throat, and SH Boom over and over again. He would change the song, I would change it back. I then discovered I could control his volume from my end and made sure he was hearing everything loud and clear. Every time I catch him listening, I do something of this sort until he gives up and closes Spotify. It started with me doing this about 5 times a day, and it's dwindled down to about once per day, each time he gives up quicker and quicker. I listen to music quite a lot, so it's easy to catch him. Whenever I want to listen to my music, I just click forget device and then I'm free to play music on my end. Other than the few times he's started playing music while I'm listening, he's barely an inconvenience. Eventually I'll change my password, but part of me wants to keep doing this until he gives up entirely on my account. Absolute silence is my most prized petty revenge. I am not a thief or a snoop, and for the 2 years I have been here, I have never once overstepped my bounds or done anything that would make my roommates question my integrity. I have lived here a year longer than the roommate that is on to me and wants to catch me in the act of trying to get over on my OG roommates. He's very suspicious of me and thinks I'm trying to get over on my other roommates. He's caught me a few times, like once I was doing my laundry in the laundry room and watched him sneak up on me trying to catch me doing something nefarious. He didn't know I could see him sneaking up on me in a reflection. Like when I go downstairs, I can audibly hear him turn down his phone so he can listen to me in the next room. I'll hear his phone playing whatever, but as I come out of my room and down the stairs, I hear the volume go down. So he'll sit in the living room and very intently listen to me in the kitchen, hoping to catch me doing something. Catch me eating what I am not supposed to be eating, or taking something that isn't mine. So last night I walked into the kitchen, poured myself a glass of water, and then as silently as I could just stood there drinking my water in silence for like 10 minutes as I watched the microwave clock, trying to not make a sound, letting the tension build, because I know he is on the other side of the wall and can't see me. I know he's going nuts trying to figure out what I'm doing that he can't see, or my reason for standing in the dark in the kitchen drinking water like a psycho. I know it's petty, but I get a thrill from expecting him to come around the corner expecting me to be doing something to get caught for, but I'm just smiling at him drinking water. Make me look bad to make yourself look good? I can play that game twice as well and steal a guy I don't even want. So for a quick bit of background info, I got super into astrology, crystal collecting, tarot cards, runestones, paganism, modern witchcraft, vulture culture, etc. when I was about 19. At 21, a close friend, we'll call her Marcy, also started expressing interest in the occult, so I started sharing my knowledge/supplies with her. Anyway, so around that same time, Marcy had a crush on this absolute slimy douchebag of a guy. She asked for my help to get him to like her, not that she needed it. She's drop-dead gorgeous, has a perfect body, amazing fashion sense, super interesting personality, etc. So as much as I hated being the third wheel, I said sure. I'd come along and help hype her up and make her seem that much more amazing. Little did I know, her entire plan to make herself look good was to make me look bad. Apparently, the guy thought witches were super hot and wanted to get with one, so Marcy used this as her in. She starts rattling off everything I had taught her, but with a holier-than-thou air about her. She pulls out my tarot deck that I had lent her so she could read his cards, making sure to throw a quick "maybe one day you can get your own deck too" my way. So the whole date goes on like this. She's passing my own knowledge and crystals and cards off as her own, all while claiming I know nothing and that she's taught me everything she knows. The real kicker was when she invented a coven she was the priestess of, and claimed I was a hopeful initiate but that she had to confer with her deities as she wasn't sure I'd make the cut. I was livid. At no point had I agreed to let myself be belittled and demeaned and insulted just so she could spend the night with some idiot womanizing tool. But I held my tongue through the evening. I let her look good. I let him be impressed by her vast knowledge of the occult. And I planned my revenge. This was over winter break in my junior year of college, so I was used to working like a maniac on projects, but I had nothing else to occupy me. I spent the next week and a half writing my own personal grimoire. I used one of those artisan-made journals with the thick, rough-edged paper that feels like it's handmade. I drew star charts, poem charts, astrological signs, crystals and their alignments, deities and their powers/areas of jurisdictions. I mapped out the pagan calendar and detailed each of the holidays and what they were celebrating. I wrote spells, I wrote curses, I just went crazy. So when Marcy asked me to hang out with her and douchebag again, I was ready. He took us to some sleazy bar and bought us drinks. At some point I made up an excuse to get up, at which point I accidentally knocked over my purse and whoops asterisk my grimoire accidentally fell out of my bag and into his lap. He flipped through the book and was immediately hooked. For the rest of the evening he only had eyes for me. Only had questions for me. Only bought drinks for me. My friend was so mad. But what could I do? It was only an accident that my grimoire had fallen into his lap. He. She kept trying to get his attention back, but it was all in vain. He left the bar with me that night. I brought him back to my place, watched an episode of The Vampire Diaries, and sent him on his way. It was never about the guy to me. I just loathed being used as the butt of the joke, the antithesis of the picture of desirable. I think, to some extent, Marcy understood. She never asked me to be her third wheel again. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.